A nice chilly morning to do a little yoga practice, get some heat up, get our hearts open. We're going to be looking in some depth at forward bends, which are also, you can think of them as inversions when we look at categories of poses in yogas. And inversions are basically any pose where your head is below your heart. And I always remind you that sometimes we get caught up in this mess up here and we don't listen to this. So this is a good physical reminder to tune into that wonderful heart wisdom that you've accumulated over the years. A couple of caveats. If we're doing forward bends, if you are someone who's dealing with high blood pressure, that's not very well controlled with medication, I ask that you modify, maybe not go so far forward or not stay in the forward bend, perhaps as long as I am. Also, glaucoma is a contraindication for deep and long held forward bends. So just with those things in mind, let's begin our practice together. And Sweet Pea is already in her position. So taking your seat, letting yourself settle, feet on the floor. I always like to roll my shoulders. That's where the weight of the world settles for me. I'm going to circle in both directions. And then lift my shoulders up towards my ears, create fists with my hands, tighten the muscles of my arms, maybe clench my jaw just a bit, press my feet into the floor, tightening up everything I can find to squeeze, and then letting it go with a ha. So it's important that you make that sound. Let's do that once more. Shoulders up, fist with the hands, pressing the feet into the floor, maybe squeezing your belly, taking in a breath, and then letting it go with a ha. Letting your eyes closed or looking softly towards the floor. And now is the time when we bring ourselves into the present moment as fully and completely as we are able to. Noticing the body. Noticing those areas that might feel a little tight, a little tense, as well as honoring those places that feel open and spacious. Noticing energy, thoughts, emotions, and reminding ourselves that yoga doesn't exclude anything in our life. It's all welcome as we do our practice. Diving a little deeper into the breath now. Full attention on the inhale and the exhale. Envisioning the breath traveling through your whole body, bringing energy and light and healing. Letting the belly expand like a balloon as you breathe in and drawing the breath up through your chest, all the way to the top of your shoulders. And then letting the exhale pour from the body, shoulders, chest, and belly. Nice long exhale at the end. Always breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. Keep bringing your thoughts back to the present moment. If they should wander away, come back to the next breath. Let's take 3 more complete breaths, just like this. And at the end of that third exhale, letting the technique, just placing it to one side so your natural breath can come back. Noticing how you feel. And we'll bring our hands to heart center and join our voices as we begin the rest of our practice by joining our sounds, making the sound of Om. Taking a deep breath in. Om. Om Shanti. Peace at this season of peace and hope. Opening your eyes if they're closed, and let's go into our 6 movements of the spine just to get our back ready for some of those forward bends. So breathing into dog, chest comes forward, head looks up, shoulders and elbows back. And rounding into cat, tuck your chin, roll off your sit bones, let the breath go. Breathing in and out. So remembering that letting go of as much of the breath as you can on the exhale makes a lot more room for the next in-breath. So breathing into dog and exhaling into cat. Let's do that once more. Nice big deep breath into dog, shoulders and elbows back. And exhale, squeeze out all the breath into cat. And bring it back to center. Moving into our twist, we'll start with the right arm, stretch it out nice and long. Exhale, bring that palm to your left knee, left hand to your chair. Begin by creating that nice tall spine, feet still flat on the floor. And let the exhale begin the twist. Leading with the shoulder rather than the chin. Deepen the stretch if you like by crossing the left leg over the right. Lengthening on each in-breath, twisting on the exhale. And let's release that, bring it back to center, uncross the legs, and we'll go directly to the other side. So left arm reaches forward, a lot of energy in that reach. Exhale, bring that palm to the knee, right hand to your chair. Tall spine. And bringing that right shoulder back again, lining up the chin with the center of your chest so you don't over twist. Good, and let's bring it back to center. Untwisting, pause for a breath, and we'll move into thread the needle. So starting with the right arm, creating your thread. Exhale, slide your thread through your eye of your needle. So remember, however far you're comfortable going is perfectly fine. This may be it, but if you want, advance the arm, add that forward fold. Beginning with the inversions. And remember the add-ons here. You can take your left arm out to the side, or you can sweep it overhead. This makes a nice deep twist in the spine. And let's breathe in and bring it back to center. And go directly to the other side. Left arm reaches forward. Slide that along your right thigh. Again, we're easing it in, asking ourselves, do we want a little more, a little less? What would be perfect today? Add that arm sweep with your right arm if you like. Remember, this is definitely optional. Nice steady breath. Head is relaxed. Good. Let's bring it up to center. Pause for just a breath. Good. So I'm going to breathe my arms out from the shoulders. Turn the palms up. Breathe in. Exhale, float them down. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, turn them down. So this time I'm going to leave the palms up and just touch my fingertips to my shoulders. Exhaling as I bend the elbow, inhaling as the arms come out. Good. Inhale, reach them out. Exhale, fingertips touch. So leaving your fingertips on your shoulders now. Take a breath in and gently turn to the right. Bring it back to center, to the left. Bring it back. And once more side to side, going to the right. Bring it back and to the left. And bring it back. So you can continue with that side to side, but if you want to add a little forward fold, we can do that as well. So taking a breath in, left elbow comes to right knee, exhale. Inhale, lift up, maybe a little bit of a back bend, and then right elbow to left knee. So you don't have to do too quickly this movement. You can move kind of slow. And if it doesn't feel good, just stay with that first version of the twist that we did. Good. Bring it up. Open your arms nice and wide. Turn the palms down. And float your arms to rest. Good. So in yoga, we do a pose called Yoga Mudra, which means the symbol of yoga. Hi, Suki. How are you? And we're going to do the seated version of that. So the idea with Yoga Mudra, it's called the symbol of yoga because, just as I said in the intro, it reminds us that the wisdom comes from the heart, not necessarily from the head. So this is a forward bend, and use those cautions if they affect you personally, the high blood pressure and the glaucoma. So I'm going to begin by extending my arms in front, just like a sleepwalker pose. Take a breath in. And then exhale, sweep your arms all the way around to the back. Interlace your fingers behind you. Good. Squeeze your shoulders. Good. Relax. Squeeze the shoulders towards each other and relax. Once more, squeezing those shoulders, lengthening the arms. We're going to begin a forward fold here. So breathing in. Exhale, begin to bend forward. Keeping that squeeze in the shoulder blades. Head is relaxed. And if you like, you can begin to lift your hands away from your back. This might be too challenging if your shoulders are tight. Here's a suggestion. If you have really tight shoulders, you can grab your yoga tie and take it in opposite hands and do the stretch this way, holding the tie in opposite hands. Good. So let's try that again. Good. Arms up, sweep them around, interlace your fingers or grab your yoga tie, squeeze those shoulders, and exhale, fold forward. Releasing the hands away from your back if you like. and breathing. Most important part, the breath. Good. Inhale, come on up. One final squeeze with those shoulders. Release the hands. Allow them to float forward and come to rest. Take a breath. So let's work through our seated forward fold. And again, this is a pose that we do in stages, so you can hop off at any level that works for you. I'm going to turn sideways. You don't have to. I just want you to be able to see the position of my feet and my legs as I do the fold. Okay. So beginning with the feet directly under the knees, and we're going to work this like a wave. Breathing the chest forward and then rounding it back. So it's pretty much like the cat and the dog movement with your spine. So just gently warming up. And I'm going to advance this a little bit by moving my feet forward, maybe 6 inches or so. Continuing with the wave. So I'd like a little deeper stretch. I'm going to move my feet even a little bit further forward. There's still a little bit of bend in my knees. Arching forward and breathing back. And then I'm going to find a place where I'd like to hold. I can bring my hands to the chair for a little security. Or I can continue to fold and place my hands on the floor. Head is relaxed. Breath is steady. Wherever you're holding, if you can manage to take a couple more nice deep breaths, that would be great. Notice where you feel the stretch most. So let's interlace the fingers and do a figure eight. We want to work the little bones and joints in the hands, the wrists. We'll figure eight here. And then switch it up and go the other way. And just shake those fingers out. Shake them out. So I'm going to place my hands over my heart. I'm going to place my left hand on top of my right hand. And then as I breathe in, I'm going to sweep that left arm out to the side. Turn and look to the left. And continue to bring the arm around as far as it wants to go comfortably. Good. Breathe in, bring it back. Switch hands so the right is on top. Bring that out to the side. Turn and look. And rotate. Switch hands again. We'll do that twice more, that sequence. So arm comes out to the side. Turn and look. And rotate. Make sure you're sitting up tall as you're doing this. Switch hands. Out to the side. Turn and look. Rotate. Last time. Left hand on top. Out to the side. Turn and look. Rotate. Keeping with a nice, steady breath the whole time. Should feel a nice deep twist all the way down your back as you do this. And relax. Take a breath. So let's pay a little bit of attention to the lower body, and then we'll move into our sun salutations. So bringing up the right foot, using your tie behind your thigh, if that helps, or just holding on. You can also bring the knee up a little higher if that works for you. Try not to lean back in your chair and rotate the foot. Circling one way and then switch it up, go the other way. Breathe in, breathe out. Ready to move into the figure 4 stretch? Here we go. So crossing, again, you have lots of options here. Crossing at the ankle, at the knee. I'm just going to place my foot up on top, sitting up nice and tall. Good. You can press down on the knee and gently lift the foot to give it a little bit of a deeper feeling. You can also add that forward fold right here. Nice steady breath. Good. And inhale, come on up. Uncross. And let's move over to the other side. And again, remember the two sides might feel very different. One side is probably going to be much tighter than the other. Let's circle the ankle. And other way, please. Maybe draw that knee up just an incy bit higher. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Don't make them work so hard. Moving into the figure 4 stretch here. Crossing at whatever place works for you. Nice tall sit. And you notice as you sit up tall, hello, Suzuki, how are you? It makes it feel like the stretch is deeper just by sitting up nice and tall. Good. Press down on the knee, up on the foot. And add that forward fold so you can pet your dog. Hello, sweetheart. Paying attention to the breath. Good. And let's inhale and bring it up. Good. Uncross and pause. So our sun salutations are a nice way to increase our forward folds because there's always that swan dive in it. So we're going to be looking at that. Starting in prayer position, pressing the palms together to wake up the muscles of your arms. Remembering that sun salutations are a breathing technique, not just a movement. Every movement we do is connected with an in-breath or an out-breath. Good. So first in-breath, we sweep the arms up. Exhale, reach back. Draw your breath into mountain, and here comes the forward fold. Open the arms, fold forward, let the breath go. Place your palms on your knees, come up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhaling, arms sweep up. Exhale, reach back. Drawing your breath into mountain and coming back to rest at the heart. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale. And exhale, reach it back. Breathing into mountain, exhaling forward. Coming up halfway on an in-breath. Letting the breath go and folding. The inhale brings the arms up. Another reach back. Back to mountain and back to where you started. Last time, breath in. Reach it back. Breath into mountain, exhale, folding forward. Palms to the knees, come up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms sweep up, gather in all that breath, all that energy. Exhale, reach it back. Breath comes into mountain and exhaling back to the heart. And just pause. Good. So we're going to do half moon series. We saluted the sun. Now we're going to salute the moon. And the half moon series also has a forward bend in it. Unlike the sun salutation where you open your arms and sweep forward, the moon salutation has you keeping your arms extended as you fold forward. And as you do that, think about lengthening out. So we're going to do this twice. I'm going to lead it seated, and then I'm going to invite those of you who would like to join me to do it standing. You can repeat it seated if standing doesn't work for you. Great. Hands to heart center to begin. Inhale, arms sweep up. Frame your head. And again, if your shoulders are really tight, you can separate your hands a bit to make room. Good. And let's do half moon to the right. Nice side bend here. And every time we bend to the side, and let's go over to the left, we make much more room for breath. Bring it back up. A little bit of a forward bend now, so your arms can stay extended, or you can bring them out to the side or support your lower back if that feels better. Reach it back. Good. Bring it back. And now we're going to do the forward fold, keeping your head framed between your arms. Think about lengthening, reaching your fingertips forward, lengthening your spine, coming all the way down. You can just relax for a minute, let your arms go, give them a shake, give your head a shake. Let's re-engage the arms. And on an inhale, lift back up. Lengthen and arch to the left. Bring it back. In breath. Exhale to the right. Bring it back. Come to rest right at your heart center. So we're going to do that again. And as I mentioned, you can join me to do it standing, or if you'd like to repeat it seated, that's certainly an option. So there's a couple of ways you can stand to do this pose. You can stand completely away from the chair. You can keep one hand on the chair, or you can actually come to the back of the chair, which is probably the most supportive way to do it. So I'll let you be the judge of what works for you. So beginning with hands in prayer position, let's inhale and sweep the arms up, framing the head with the arms, just like a picture frame. Good. So now keep those knees a little soft. We're going to arch to the right. So notice how that hip, I allow it to move off to the side. Good. Breathe. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Again, so the hip is moving off to the right. So I'm making that nice half moon shape. Good. Inhale up. We're going to do the back bend now. So just as when you were seated, you can adjust the position of your arms if that feels better for the back bend. I'm going to leave my arms extended. Breathe in, exhale, reach it back. Take your breath into mountain, and now we're going to do the forward fold. So keeping the arms engaged, lengthening out, coming into a forward fold. Good. And when you've gone as far as you can go, you can release your hands, give your head a shake. Make sure your knees are nice and soft. You can also keep one hand on the chair if that feels good. Let's re-engage the arms and lifting up So you're getting a little bit of abdominal work too as you do this. Good. And half moon to the left. Right hip moves to the side. Come on up. And half moon to the right. Good. And up and back to heart center. Nicely done, everybody. Good. So let's take a nice wide step. And reach out with your left arm. So if you don't need the chair for support, reach out with your right arm as well. Good. So let's bend at the elbow, coming into peaceful warrior or goddess pose. Reach up and bend your knees. Good. And come down. Exhale. And down. And again. If this is tough on your knees, just stay in goddess pose or five-pointed star. Good. Ready for triangle? Let's do it. So I'm going to turn my toes so they're facing the chair. Toes of the right foot, left foot turns in a little bit. Place your hand on your hip to remind it to stay back. Good. Reach up and begin to arch. Let's pulse in and out of that a few times, just to let the body know what's coming. Let it tell us what it likes, what it doesn't like. Good. And the next time I reach over, I'm going to come into my full triangle, drawing that top shoulder back to open the front of the body. If you want, release the chair. And breathe. Excellent. Put a lot of strength in that top arm. Have it guide you back. And do a little counter stretch. And release. Turn so both feet are facing the chair. So my left foot is back. My right foot is forward. So we're going to be going into runner's stretch, which is called straight-legged runner stretch, although that's a misnomer because you know at this point, we always keep a little bit of bend in the knees for safety. When you do this pose, you're going to bend directly from your hip crease. So bring your hands to rest right where your hips, where the fold comes from. Well, let's practice that. So reaching forward, you can hold on to the chair. Just think about, rather than bending, lengthening. Can you make the distance between your crown and your tailbone a little longer? And inhale, come on up. So as we do that pose and the next pose, which is a wide-legged forward bend, we'll be using that flat back position. Good. So one hand on the chair or hands on the hips. Breathe in, hinging right at that hip crease. Begin to fold. Again, lengthen. Hands can come to the chair. Now, this is a good opportunity to really flatten the back and increase the distance. Take a few breaths here. Don't rush. You can go further into the fold if you like. Your spine will probably start to round a little bit at this point, and that's fine. You can hold on to the chair. You can bring your hands to the floor, or you can bring your hands behind your back, which is also fine. A little bit of balance work here. Good, and let's inhale. Come on up. Great. And let's get ready for the wide-legged forward bend. So I'm going to take that back foot and bring it forward. So I'm going to be using the same cues to bend from the hips, flatten the back as you come forward. Here we go. Breath in, And reach. Again, take your time. Hands to the chair. Soften those knees. Bend and flex a few times to remind yourself. And then guide yourself down if you want to go forward. If you want to go further, that's fine. Knees are soft. Breath is steady. Good. And ready to release. Walk your hands up. And release. Good. Step your feet together. And we'll do all those on the other side. But as we're transitioning, we'll pause for a down dog. So you could be standing towards the back of your chair or hands on the seat of the chair. Just walk your feet away. Let your belly hang down. Maybe lift and lower one heel at a time. You're just walking. Good. Come on back. And let's go over to the other side. So nice, wide, comfortable stance. Right arm reaches out. Left arm too, if you don't need it for support. Dropping down into goddess. So let's do that. Arms extend. Drop down. Again, if your knees are sensitive, you may just want to sit out this dance. That's perfectly fine. And I'm doing an exhale as I bend and an inhale as my arms reach out. Good. Ready for triangle? I'm going to turn the toes of my left foot so they're facing the chair. Right foot turns in slightly and hip moves back. Good. Reach up with that right arm. And let's pulse. The exhale reaches across. And the inhale brings the arm down. Good. Let's reach across one more time. Hold wherever you're comfortable holding. Release the chair if you'd like. And breathe. Keep drawing the top shoulder back, opening the front of your body. Good. On an inhale, let's come on up. Do a little counter stretch. And get ready for the runner stretch. So again, I'm just going to rotate my body. So I'm facing the chair. Both feet are facing the chair. Hand at the hip to remind you that's where the fold's going to come from. Take a breath in. Reach your crown forward. Soften the knees. And place your hands where they're comfortable. Again, this is perfectly fine if you want to stay here, but you're also welcome to join me in a little bit more of a forward fold. Finally, placing the hands behind the back if you like. Nice steady breath. And a steady gaze. You want to be looking down towards the floor so you don't hurt your neck. Good. And let's inhale. Come on up. Good. So the foot steps forward. Nice comfortable distance for the wide-legged forward bend. Hand at the hip as a reminder. And begin. Exhale. So you're actually thinking about moving your spine as a single unit. So you're not rounding over, you're lengthening, keeping that nice alignment, crown to tailbone. Good. Exhale, reach it forward. Hands come to the chair. Pause. Don't rush. And breathe. Advance the pose as you feel ready to or not. Everybody's got their own comfort level. And inhale, come on. You know, as a stopping off point in that, if you've gotten as far as your hands and you want a little more, you can always drop down onto your forearms as well, because that'll give you the stability as well as the deeper stretch. So, excellent. Step the feet together. Let's do one more downward facing dog, and then we'll go to our seat. So you can stand at the back of the chair. I'm going to stand with my hands on the seat of the chair. Walk my feet away. Nice soft belly hanging down. So I'm feeling a nice deep stretch all the way up the back of my legs, my spine, my shoulders. And walk yourself back. Say thank you for your support to the chair and take a seat. So let's finish up with a few more just easy twists, just to move that wonderful energy through the body, reaching up and exhale, twisting to the right. Reach it up again and exhale to the left. I don't know if there's any other little stretches you'd like to do at this point, feel free. Circle on your hips. Just making what I call a mushy spine. And go the other way. And then bringing that to stillness, letting yourself settle into our final relaxation. Eyes closed or gazing towards the floor. Attention drawn to the breath, to the body. Doing that little internal journey from the tips of your toes all the way up through the legs, the torso, arms, up to the crown of your head. What feels different because of your practice? If your thoughts begin to pull you ahead into the day, just give those thoughts permission to rest just for another moment or two. And then gradually letting your breath get a little bit deeper. And if you want, adding a few more stretches, movements to bring your practice to close. Hands to heart center. Let's join our voices once more in an Om. Deep breath. Om. Om Shanti. Peace. At this season of light, in the middle of the darkness of winter, I greet you all with Namaste. The light within me recognizes and honors the light within you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.